Se cayeron edificios.
On 19th of September 2017, a magnitude 7.1 earthquake, which kills 300 people, struck south of the city of Puebla, Mexico. The earthquake caused damage in the Mexican states of Puebla and Morelos and in the greater Mexico City area. According to the National Seismological Service or NSS of Mexico, the epicenter was located 12 kilometers southeast of Axoxiapan, Morelos, and 120 kilometers from Mexico City. The earthquake was measured at a magnitude of 7.1, occurring around 1:14 p.m. or around 2:14 a.m. in the Philippines, with a depth of 51 kilometers, wherein strong shaking was felt for approximately 20 seconds. Based on the Mercalli scale, its classification was 8 or severe, meaning that the earthquake has done slight damage in specially designed structures. It made considerable damage in ordinary substantial buildings with partial collapse, and it also greatly damaged poorly built structures, including the fall of chimneys, factory stacks, columns, and walls. Mexico is also one of the world's most seismically active regions, sitting atop several intersecting tectonic plates. The border between the Caucasus Plate and the North American Plate, along the Pacific coast of Mexico, creates a subduction zone that generates large seismic events. Activity along the edges of the Rivera and the Caribbean plates also generate seismic events. Altogether, these seismic forces cause an average of 40 earthquakes a day in Mexico. Mexico City is built on a soft soil made up of sand and clay, which amplifies the destruction that major earthquakes cause. In fact, less than 2 weeks before the Puebla earthquake, Mexico also had been struck by an earthquake in Chiapas on September 7th, which killed almost 100 people. Despite its close timing, the Puebla earthquake was not an aftershock of the Chiapas event, as the epicenters were 650 kilometers apart. The effects of the earthquake to Mexico were very tragic, wherein more than 6,000 people had been reported injured by the day after the earthquake, with more than 300 confirmed dead as the Mexico earthquake rescue efforts continue. But on the 1st of October, the number of people known to have been killed was stated to be 361, and more than 10,500 people are now injured.
1,000 people left homeless. It's difficult to measure just how much progress has been made to aid the homeless.
There were at least 44 buildings collapsed in Mexico City due to the earthquake, trapping people inside, creating large plumes of dust, and starting fires. Gas leaks were also reported, along with piles of rubble from collapsed buildings. But amidst the enormous casualty that occurred in Puebla, locals, authorities, volunteers, and all the other people tend to get back on their feet and reconstruct what has been broken. The Mexican Army and Mexican Navy deployed 3,000 active duty troops to Mexico City. The troops were tasked with debris cleanups, search and rescue operations, and security missions. Mexicans also received help from their friends in Israel, even if it takes these Israelite soldiers to travel across the world. With the help of Israel Defense Forces, who sent 71 soldiers, headed by Colonel Dudi Mizrahi, to lend a helping hand to the Mexicans by performing search and rescue operations, even in the deepest places of collapsed buildings, and aid people who are injured in the quake. By the end of that month, 501 rescue workers, 32 search dogs, and over 440 tons of humanitarian aid had been sent to Mexico from over 27 countries around the world. Anyone would no doubt react to and feel the same way towards the tragedy as the residents did if ever they experienced the earthquake. For an inevitable disaster, one is likewise bound to be afraid and traumatized.
Ahorita estamos totalmente en la calle prácticamente, pero atrás de todo esto nosotros entendemos que Dios tiene un propósito para todo esto. Si tenemos las cosas más importantes que es nuestra vida, sí, en este caso me considero súper afortunado de que tengo mi familia completa, ¿sí?
Como familia teníamos planes, proyectos, sueños que pues ahora desaparecieron prácticamente.
Nevertheless, people's hopes and spirits are still stronger than the shaking of the ground. And unlike infrastructures, we are able to withstand the stress and the damages the earthquakes bring.
Consideramos esto como un obstáculo que tenemos que vencer. Nosotros estamos profundamente interesados en dar a conocer la palabra de Dios y no sabemos qué es lo que vaya a pasar con lo que estamos haciendo.
Pueda retribuir de mayor forma, porque así lo dice su palabra y hemos confiado en su promesa que hace.